Okay, so you see what it say. Before I get going, Shalom, call Halam La Yahweh Bashmiel Shai Wahara Kakodash. Double honors to the hopefully like elder apostles, slated to be saved. And Shalom to the rest that may be. Lord willing, start with those at the GMS Church. And Shalom to the rest that may be out here under the same doctrine. Onward to the brothers here in this congregation. Okay. In the order, giving all diligence and all true faith and sincerity, teaching His truth. And onward to the rest of you Akim doing likewise, from you elder Akim on down to younger Akim. Shalom. And to the rest of you believers in on this faith of Yahweh Shem Shai, Shalom to you as well, you women and children and men that are in on this faith of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right. So you see what it say. The time just elapsed, 144 at the top. But, you know, I'm not here to take the same take that the world is taking on this, which is the requiring of Kevin Samuel's spirit by the Most High God, the creator of heaven and earth. You know, the power that is gonna make you disbelievers of this truth of his Hebrew Israelite doctrine, the pushers forth of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, Yasha Allah, who's gonna make all you disbelievers, believers when the things come to pass, and this being one of them that his men were saying, and the rest of his believers were proven to be true, okay, through their actions or their support, okay, And like I said, this being one of them, which is the death, of Kevin Samuels, the requiring of his spirit by this power, Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. Okay, you people gonna see that to be true. So why have you women here that may run into this, you men, so-called women and so-called men's ear that, now that this has happened and people, running into this information, however, and they're just, it's a bunch of people just, you can go all over the place and everyone's speaking on it. People that probably never even cared about this dude or even probably really heard about him, because he's not, if I didn't get a notification or alert, it ain't that important. It ain't that, and he wasn't that big, you know what I'm saying? But it's big nonetheless in the world of Israel. Okay, but like I said, you see all these different people, these news outlets reporting on this just to get some clicks, because they know since this is a talk right now amongst Jake and probably really in general, you know what I'm saying? They just gonna say throw an article out about it, you know what I'm saying, just to get some traction. So I'm not here to do that, This is gonna be the take on it, that Kevin Samuels wasn't the man that you Israelite women were written or prophesied to submit to, man. Period. Okay? You see what it says, Kevin Samuels, polarizing YouTuber, notorious for comments about black women, so-called black women, Hebrew Israelite women, in truth, dead at 56. Okay? I'm gonna jump down. It says Kevin Samuels, the popular YouTuber known for his controversial dating advice and comments about so-called black women, has died. He was 56. Samuels' mother, Beverly Samuels Birch, confirmed her son's death to NBC News, although declined to share details. Samuels Birch added that she learned of her son's death from social media. That, quote, this is a quote from her, "That was a terrible thing for social media to put that out." She said, "I didn't even know. I hadn't even been notified. All I'm doing is requesting that people pray for us." Yeah, and see, that's why my take on this is gonna be a little different, because this is bigger than just the digital world, the internet world. This was dealing with real life. He was used to discuss topics and highlight a real issue that's going on, you know? And that's the state of the state of Eve, you know? Had a dang name for y'all. You know, I got the Lord, gotta give me the name back, man. You know? But the state of you so-called black women, man. You so-called black women, all right? So-called Latino women, Native American, Indian women. He just didn't have the answers. He came with things that wasn't, you know, he was all gas, you know, he was all smoke, no gas, man. You know, but nonetheless, the Lord used this man to highlight the issue that the men that you are written to submit to, which is those of your own race that's awakened to who we are and what's about to happen and returning back to who they are, which is who you see on the highways and byways as these so-called black crazy Hebrew Israelites or Hebrew Israelites, even if you don't say the black thing, you know, was saying, okay? Period. It has been saying. You get to him and you get stuck because he was just here to highlight to you what's going on, not bring you to him, get you to him, and then lead you out of your destruction. But nonetheless, I'm not here to overtalk. So, see it right here, May 6th. It says Kevin Samuels, it say culture matters at the top. See that? Kevin Samuels, YouTuber, which is black culture, deaf culture, you know, the imaginations of the Hebrew Israelites while in captivity. This guy named Kevin Samuels, YouTuber with 1.4 million subscribers, has died, his mother says. Samuels' views on dating and relationships, which many people on social media felt were an attack on black women, so-called, often spark outrage. Yeah, and that's that Queen of Heaven vibe, man. That's exactly what this is. So you women, you got people literally rejoicing that he's dead of our own, and you about to die. You gonna die. You gonna die. You next. Had, you know, elder brothers that speaking on it. Cause not too many people was, you know, into this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I made a couple videos about him, which is something spiritual. Lord willing, the Lord had me bring up in this video before it ends. But I spoke on him time to time when he was here. You know what I'm saying? But he was nothing more than a guy that found the gimmick, you know, in his head. But in the reality, the Lord was using him once again to highlight. Okay, but all you people that's rejoicing, you gonna die next. And you women, you're gonna die. This was not the men, just because he's dead, the fact of the matter is what he was saying or used to, he was just a stop sign. But the stop sign, which is used as a piece in traffic, you know, to possibly help us stop a collision, but it don't go any further than that. It's not a yield sign. It doesn't have the ability to tell you to yield, green, slow down, gold, green, slow down, yellow. You know what I'm saying? It's not a actual person. You know what I'm saying? It's not someone that's at the intersection that's, you know, the street crossing guard. It's not any of that, man. It's not a police enforcer. It doesn't give you tickets. So he was nothing more than what a stop sign is to a person driving, you know, that could possibly crash. He was no more than that, man, than what a stop sign is to, you know, a person driving that could possibly crash. You know, stop, but that's it, you know? So that still doesn't change the reality now that stop sign is gone, that it's there. It's things you need to take notice to and stop and take notice to. Pump your brakes on, stop. You know? And if you don't, it's still the reasons for people, for things like me being set up it's still gonna be, it's so, I mean, the Lord, he gives so many words and different ways we put it so where you can get it, or to where you won't have any excuse, to where the elect can get it, and you 2/3, you're not gonna have an excuse. And so you can understand, you women that don't want to repent back to who you are. You want to stay an American and stay rebellious and stay in that Queen of Heaven spirit, But like I said, him passing, the Lord requiring his spirit does not change the fact of what you out here subjected to. You know what I'm saying? And those are head-on collisions. Okay? With things you're not ready to go head up with. No one is ready to go head first with a car, man. Okay? Period. A semi-truck. That's how these prophecies, and the judgment for certain sins you've been doing, you so-called black women, are about to hit you, and you're not ready to go head up with that, man. But anyway, I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna get my scriptures. Vibe. It says, Kevin Samuels relationship advice vlogger dead following incident report. Kevin Samuels, the highly opinionated, sometimes, he wasn't known for pushing the Bible to you. Sometimes controversial relationship advice vlogger reportedly died at the age of 56. Rumors of the death began to circulate on social media Thursday afternoon, May 5th. Okay. Now, his mom, when you go back, Salakia. Now his mom, she confirmed this, but she said, she found out through social media, man, was people that they not seeing the reality once again, which is the things I just explained through the example I just gave, are just still stuck at. They still looking at this like this wasn't a real issue, man. By any means. They rejoicing now. Okay? As if what he was saying, or the initial issue he's pointing out, which is the estate of the so-called black woman, like I said, on the initial level, because this guy was wrong. Oh, like it was said by other elder brothers that's been speaking on it. I didn't finish that train of thought earlier. When I surprised that he did. I did time to time again videos on it, was pointing out the Lord gonna kill this dude. He's just being used initially on this level, but he's gonna get our people destroyed. And a lot of you people, he gonna take a lot of y'all out in his death, because now you think in your head that, it was just a game. It wasn't like, that really meant nothing. We can keep worshiping the Queen of Heaven. Matter of fact, we should worship the Queen of Heaven now, because this guy was clearly, wrong. We should worship women. It's about what women think. This, I could do that. I could do that. I see you going now, motherfucker. I ain't going. Bunch of pork-filled mouth ass women, man, that completely ruin their own relationships, don't know how to be in a relationship, and which is because they don't know how to serve their power, or what is the instructions from their power that created them at all, that even hate them, for as far as them being a woman, and to be able to successfully do that as a Hebrew Israelite woman, to be specific. Okay, as a daughter of, him, and him being the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of his son, Yahweh Shah. But I'm gonna bring these scriptures out real quick. Sirach 25:22. It says, a woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. Yeah, a woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. Yeah, they mad because they held to responsibility and accountability. You know what I'm saying? The duties, the benevolence, the due benevolence talked about in the Bible that she has, and she's supposed to act on that, due benevolence to her husband. which guys like this dude was, was highlighting. But he was only here to reinforce what we've been telling you. He could just get you to see it. He just got so many faces out here that's actually on the Most High shit list. That's all they did, man. Paraphrasing. Not paraphrasing, but slocking. Basically, it says, a wicked woman abated the courage, make it an heavy countenance and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress, make it weak hands and feeble knees. And my point of getting this is to just show it's pretty much the mindset of a woman having to do right, or anything that hold in the response to anyone that holds the woman to that, the so-called black woman to that. You see what I'm saying? Or as a reminder that the so-called black woman is to be that, the Hebrew Israelite woman is to be that, is treated like this. You see what I'm saying? This is that's why they were applauding and all this other stuff. Emoji faces coming out. You see, once again, a wicked woman abated the courage, maketh a heavy countenance and a wounded heart. A wounded heart, a woman that will not comfort her husband in distress, make it weak hands and feeble knees. This guy actually died talking about y'all. Really? That's what's crazy. Now he was a demon. Don't get it wrong. But once again, the scriptures tell you that the Lord's incorruptible spirit is in all things, man. Because the Lord made good and evil. And the wicked and the evil even for the day of judgment, man. The wicked even for the day of evil, Salaki. Okay, it says, paraphrasing, Proverbs 16 and 5 or 4. Okay, and Isaiah 45 and 7. The Lord made good and evil, man. Okay, y'all dealing with the wrong one, man. He's masterful at showing things and getting his way. Having his will done, man. Getting his point across. Verse 24. In ways you can understand it. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. So yeah, that's basically it, man. He ended up dying. He ended up dying not repenting because he was so focused on y'all, man, in the wrong way. So that's why this dude was really just all. I did a lesson called that, all gas. Kevin Samuel was all smoke, no gas, man. Meaning he can't get you nowhere. He can, he a stop sign. You know what I'm saying? Like. And what's that stop signs? A lot of smoke, a lot of exhaust, some old pipes, man. That's all he was doing was blowing the smoke, out to the world, to those that will hear him, because those that are of the world will hear them, from those that was actually inhaling the truth. So we inhaling the truth. He catching whiff of that. He's on the ending end of that, and he's just he's made to be the part of exhaling it out to y'all, cause y'all wouldn't get it. Y'all don't really get it when we try to exhale it. You see what I'm saying? All we do is inhale this truth, what's going on, the spirit, the breath of what's going on. And then we exhale out to the best of our ability. But see, just like you got two lungs to help you do that, and you got left and the right lung. So that's the part he really played, to help exhale the message that the Lord mainly wants out to his daughters, man. And it's a serious one, clearly. You see? So that's all he was really doing, man. Giving you the exhaust. That's it, man. We actually giving you the whole thing, man. We can have you inhale it with us. You don't even want to do that right now. And then you don't like how we exhale it out to you. Some of you catch whiff of it, but he really played the part in that, But anyway, like I said, man, he ended up dying and not being able to repent. You're a reason for that. He was too caught up in that. And y'all, see that? So that's that. I'm gonna read this 22 one more time. A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach, and that's all his viewers showed you. And even now in his death, because he's a reminder of maintaining your husband. They so mad. You know, a wicked woman abated the courage. See? He had courage to, yeah, woman's supposed to, went off on a lot of things, but I said initially he was right. Make it an heavy countenance and a wounded heart. See, a woman that will not comfort her husband in distress, make it weak hands and feeble knees. And ultimately it goes on to say death, man. See? This is Jeremiah 44:12. It says, and I will take the remnant of Judah that have set their faces to go into the land of Egypt to sojourn there. So the remnant of Judah, in the past, the Judah's you so-called black people. So which obviously includes you so-called black women. So we talking about you so-called black women. So I'm gonna use this to focus in on you. The Lord said it was a remnant that went into ancient Egypt in the time. This already happened, and this was prophesied to happen. But see, the Lord, he requires the things that are past. So the Lord, and he don't do anything new. So that when they say history repeats itself, yeah, because that's how the Lord that's how the Lord works. You see? So that's why the Hebrew Israelites was known to be in Egypt, and he would bring them back into Egypt, because they was in Egypt, ancient Egypt, in slavery, and they would go back into slavery again in the Americas. So that's why he said you're gonna go back into Egypt again, which is the spiritual Egypt being talked about. You see? Because why? You would be in slavery again. But remember, the Lord controls all these things. So that proves what? That he requires that which is past. He doesn't do a new thing. He doesn't change. So when history repeats itself, yeah, that's giving credence. Really, that's giving credence to the Bible. And yeah, that's because that's how the Lord operates. So you had a time where our people went to the remnant, including the so-called black women of Judah, the remnant of Judah, those that was left, they went back into Egypt to try to come up. They was trying to sell out, basically. Coon, ancient Egypt, so-called black woman, to sojourn there. And it says, and they shall all be consumed, because you can't trust in oppression. You try to trust in oppression just because you don't want to do what the Lord say. At least there we get to be how we want to be and do what we want to do. That's basically why they was cool with slavery, man. It says, because they really hate the Lord, really. It says, and fall. So the Lord says to sojourn there, and they shall all be consumed and fall in the land of Egypt. They shall even be consumed by the sword and by the famine. They shall die from the least even unto the greatest by the sword and by the famine, including the men, which you got to know a lot, just off logic, main reason being because these men be following, these so-called men, weak men be following up behind these women. They want to do what they honey want to do. It says, and by the famine, and they shall be an execration and an astonishment and a curse and a reproach. For I will punish them that dwell in the land of Egypt, as I have punished Jerusalem by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence. Nobody gonna be able to help you if everybody that you can go to Egypt for help is being punished right along with you being punished. And if you read it in the NLT, it say, I will punish them in Egypt just as I punished them in Jerusalem by war, famine, and disease. So even in that instance, you can't escape. It's the same thing, really. This is how they translate it, but it says how the translator pick up on it. But anyway, verse 14, so that none of the remnant of Judah which are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there shall escape or remain, that they shall return into the land of Judah, to which they have a desire to return to dwell there. For none shall return but such as escape. So pretty much, when you go down, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be trapped. You ain't going to be able to come back. You ain't going to be able to 1 foot in, 1 foot out, try to hustle, be slick. No. And that's exactly what y'all do now in America. So you ain't going to keep at heart you a Hebrew Israelite and try to play both sides of the fence with the Lord. The Lord said that you can't eat at two tables, and our people always was trying to do that. When we get in danger, they ain't want to call on the Lord. You know what I'm saying? When you bleeding out, and then you want to call on the Lord. But you wasn't with the Lord all the way up before the time all the way up until the time you started bleeding out. You was playing two sides of the fence. You was away from him. You was down there. It wasn't, it wasn't calling on the Lord or being with the Lord or you being a Hebrew Israelite before you started bleeding. You was somewhere still in the cooning, and then when the car flip over, cause you in a car with a bunch of Edomites cooning. You know what I'm saying? You in a building on a plane, drinking champagne with a bunch of Edomites, cooning. You in a building, being a damn good slave for the damn devil, and then the Amazon building collapsed and you stuck in there now. You know what I'm saying? The whole time the Lord, you knew you was a Hebrew Israelite. You ran across the men of the Lord. I'm telling you, and specifically you women, you so-called black women. It wasn't none of that then. But soon as you start bleeding out or those instances happen, the plane about to crash, the Amazon building collapsed, the car flip over. You see what I'm saying? Then you want to call on the Lord, man. But you trapped yourself. That's why, and he know that's how you think. And you ain't making it out, man. That's why the Lord said, rise up ye women that are at ease, man. The stop sign tell you to, you're getting all these signs out here, man. Set up. The prophet Jonas was said to be a sign, man. A wicked generation seeketh for a sign, but no sign shall be given except the sign of the prophet Jonas. We like stoplights and all type of stuff out here, man. We everything. We the whole flow. We control the whole flow of traffic. We can address the whole flow of traffic. Have you maneuver in and out through the spirit and power and mercy and grace of Yahweh Shema Shah, the Lord, the Most High. But you ain't take heed, man. But anyway, man, so you at those moments, you gonna go on and since you ain't take heed to none of those signs, it's like in traffic, you gonna go on and go head up with something you was never ready for, man. Due to you not want to listen, want to do it how you want to do. So you basically became trapped in that, man. You want to go 100 miles per hour when you can't. And then when it's too late, when you're in an instance or a turn where you can't slow down, because of that, it's like you trapped yourself. So it's certain things you do and go into you can't come back from. That's how the Lord set it up, man. And that's what you so-called black women about to realize, man. It says, then all the men, this is facts. Then all the men, this was all prophecy prophesied to happen, and it happened like that. And the Lord gonna do this again. He's doing this now in the spirit. It says, then all the men which knew that their wives had burned, or we can understand, I'll say, how the Lord is gonna go about these things now. Mothers that's doing basically the same thing all over again in spiritual Egypt. Because this particularly is not gonna exactly happen, because obviously this happened in physical Egypt. But in the spirit, the Lord, you're going to see people going to do the same thing. The Lord going to respond in the same ways. People going to be trapped in the pits that they dig, man. It says, like the damn so-called white man. But verse 15, then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwell in the land of Egypt, in Pathros, answered Jeremiah, saying, as for the word that thou hast spoken. So that tell you right there, that was the history that was going on. Men was following up behind the women then. The women was responsible for being caught all up in Egypt, not acknowledging the signs of the Lord, and we shouldn't be here. We should stop and take heed to the signs, etc. And Kevin Samuels, he was low key on that. He was low key under that act, because the person that supposedly reported his death was a woman that he met supposedly the night before when she came back to his apartment. See that? I ain't saying he was going off with dealing with a woman. I'm just saying he wasn't really about that action like he said he was, man. That's all I'm saying. This was what they responded with. So that was the history. This was what they said. Your ancestors, as for the word that thou hast spoken. So the context of this is the so-called black woman. As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us, it says what? In the name of the Lord Yahweh, we will not hearken unto thee, but we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our mouth. See that? As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Lord Yahweh, we will not hearken unto thee, but we will certainly, as they said they was going to do, it was prophecy, do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth to burn incense unto the queen of heaven, you see, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done. And that's exactly the time we in. These women all in my femininity. I got to get back into Mother Earth, baby. We the goddesses, you know, they getting back into the things they have done. They not, and these same women is being rebuked by the men of the Lord. And even these little peon niggas the Lord set up that you will listen to first versus us. But they only give you the exhaust of what we actually breathing, the reality we actually breathing, the reality of the future that's about to take place. He only give you the exhaust of that. He'll go into things that's going to happen. He mentioned the Great Reset one time, you know, because he had to have backing for what he was saying. He just didn't have the way out. He didn't have the ultimatum, you know. Then telling you black woman, you're not black. You're an Israelite. And that's going to get you destroyed. And that's why I say he going to kill more people in his death than when he was alive. Because now y'all going to take that for, you know, like, yo, you was right, you know. But the Lord took him out because he was just further cause of confusion. But now since you don't know anything, you're going to take it as if, you know, the Lord, what you doing basically. Like he said, will they not stand and say it's not the Lord God with us? That's how Jake is. It say what? It says, so as we have done, we and our fathers, continue in verse 17, our kings and our princes in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then had we plenty of victuals, and were well and saw no evil. So our people, the so-called black women, and even if it was the men responding, they basically, this is the mindset that came forth which is through the woman. You see that? And that's what, and remember, of the woman became the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. So we know this is the so-called black woman's thoughts. Judah, the so-called black woman, you so-called Negroes, you so-called West Indians, Yah. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, Yah, man. Can't make this up, man. So they were confessing of what the hell we used to do in Israel. They was worshiping the Queen of Heaven. We weren't doing nothing. They was worshiping the Queen of Heaven. There was a woman worship vibe going on, man. You know, that's why the Lord had entities written about like Jezebel, man. Figures, certain figures. See that? So they were saying when see now everything getting jacked up, and I'm basically getting this to say this is the response that they gonna have, that they had then is basically being a similar response that they're having now to this Kevin Samuel situation. Because they like, see, we weren't getting jacked up. He wouldn't have got jacked up if he was worshiping the Queen of Heaven. See, and but since we left off to burn, this is their response to Jeremiah, the prophet, a prophet. Oh man, it says, but since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things and have been consumed by the sword and by the famine. See? Your woman knows best. Put that woman first. That vibe, man. And our people, that's why they hate Kevin Samuels. That's why they rejoicing over his death. And he was a demon. Good the Lord killed him, man, because he was just causing confusion. But he was set up to highlight these very issues, man. You see, it says, and when we burned incense to the Queen of Heaven and poured out drink offerings unto her, did we make cakes to worship her and pour out drink offerings unto her without our men? So this was the women talking. See that? So our women, it ain't like we went off because the men with it. Our men with it. So it was a woman worship. This is the thing that has been, man. You can't make it up. And I'm going to read this in the NLT to prove this is the woman speaking. It says the so-called black woman, besides the woman added. See, Slaki, besides the women added. Do you remember it said this was great multitudes? It says, do you suppose that we were burning incense and pouring out liquid offerings to the Queen of Heaven and making cakes marked with her image without our husbands knowing it and helping us? Of course not. You know, and how do you see this being done now? These offerings to these different yoga gods that go back to Elam. You know what I'm saying? First of all these different little group meetings you so-called women get into. You doing a lot of these. You doing all these different things you get into and offer yourself up to is like offering, which is pretty much in moments when you on your femininity bullcrap, those are offerings. You doing the same thing all over again. And you basically saying you ain't going off and believe you not going off because weak nigga peon men behind you. But see, it was prophesied it was a time that's going to come to where you was going to submit to the men, submit to your order through submitting to the men that had it right the whole time. And Kevin Samuels was not one of those men, neither of these so-called dudes walking around now. All right, so I'm going to read through. Then Jeremiah said unto all the people, back in the KJV. So once again, this is the woman that was saying this. Leading they men and all this other madness, running their big mouths. It says, then Jeremiah said unto all the people, to the men and to the women, see, and to all the people which had given him that answer, saying, yeah, a bunch of niggas, man, come on, Jeremiah, you being a misogynist. Come on, you know how women is, brother. You know how they gonna be. That's simple niggas. Nah, bro, that's a female, bruh. These niggas. It's the same niggas. It's the same niggas, man. It says what? He said what? He says the incense that ye burned in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, ye and your fathers and your kings and your princes and the people of the land, did not the Lord Yahweh, Basmi outside at this point, but Yahweh at that point, did not the Yahweh remember them and came it not into his mind? Lord, see what you doing. Did he not respond? Y'all don't see this? You crazy? You see that? It says, so that the Lord could no longer bear, because of the evil of your doings and because of the abominations which ye have committed. Those are abominations, man. It says, therefore is your land a desolation and an astonishment. He corrected them. They talking about some, because you weren't worshiping. I want to see what it looked like for girls to rule the world. Pharrell said that madness, man. He made an album called Girl. Beyonce, Girl. Who run the world? Girls. Judah. See? The bunch of Judites. That damn Oprah. Her and that woman, that's another nigga. She was there. It says, without an inhabitant as at this day. Oh, Oprah is an offering. That's one of the queens of heavens. Y'all put up a lot of offerings to Oprah. Beyonce. All these people, man. It says, because ye have burned incense and because ye have sinned against the Lord Yahweh and have not obeyed the voice of the Lord Yahweh, nor walked in his law, nor in his statutes, nor in his testimonies, therefore is this evil has happened unto you as it is this day. And that's it, man. I'm almost at 40 minutes. So Isaiah 4:1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. See, saying we will, you know what? Let me jump down in here. This is Isaiah 32:9. Listen, rise up, Slaki. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. I'm gonna read this in the NLT all the way through. Listen, you women who lie around in ease. Listen to me, you who are so smug. You ain't gonna listen to Kevin Samuels this what because it's coming, because he's dead now, and it's coming down to you listening to the Lord. And if you don't listen, and how do you listen to the Lord? By listening to his men that he set up, right? They got the complete map that Kevin Samuels had a piece of, but had you so infatuated because of that, man. Because everything else he put around it was folly. We ain't here to talk to you smooth things and all that, man. Now we can condescend, talk to you on your level, but it's not about appeasing you. It says, in a short time, just a little more than a year, you careless ones will suddenly begin to care. For your crops, your fruit crops will fail, and the harvest will never take place. Yeah, all your checks you got coming in, Monday nigga, Tuesday nigga, Thursday nigga, Wednesday nigga, Friday nigga, Sunday nigga, Saturday nigga, all these people, man. Sugar daddies, your benefits, Big Daddy Esau, so-called white man with his, government assistance and all this shit, And this ain't something to say something wrong with you if you got government assistance or something like that. Do you have the Lord though? Do you trust in oppression? Is that who you say gives you that, takes care of you? Because if so, all that's gonna fail. And at the end of the day, even for those that have it and that's in the Lord, that's gonna fail. All this just about to come to an end. These and the people that don't want to take heed to this, they're gonna run head on into these things, head on collisions. And it's because they didn't want to submit to and they wouldn't submit to those stop signs. How many people actually stopped dead at a stop sign? That's exactly who Kevin Samuels was, man. Niggas be yielding. Y'all was yielding. Because it was y'all, that's not the man that was prophesied that y'all was gonna submit to, man. You see? But anyway, tremble, you women of ease. Throw off your complacency. Thinking stuff gonna stay the same. Thinking it's gonna keep going how it's going. And that's literally how it looked. The Lord making it to where all these scriptures gonna stand true. Kevin Samuels dead now. Now they back. Queen, yeah, we need to have. See, you shouldn't have been talking about those women. I guarantee this niggas probably sitting around. You talking shit about that? Hey, the black woman God,
Man, he was a misogynist.
Little soft niggas need to be, man, me chill. It says, strip off your pretty clothes and put burlap to show your grief. And that's like sackcloth, burlap. You see, like, things you see old potatoes come in the ancient world, like potato sacks. That game when Jake jumping to be in the yard, trying to, the potato sack game, trying to jump to the finish line. It says, beat your breast in sorrow. So that, your pretty clothes is, these swishy suits, the Rihanna Puma slippers, you know what I'm saying? The little leggings, the peel-off sticker hair, all that, man. The damn cum umbrellas, eyelashes, the rakes for eyelashes, the Freddy Krueger hands over your eyelids, all that, man. The beat faces. You been living a lie. That ain't gonna work. That's gonna actually get you hurt in times to come. Cause that's what everybody got it out for. That's what's been over-sexualized. That's what's gonna be marked and targeted and hunted down in the times to come. That's what's for the streets. That's what's for everybody. That's not for one man. Because if it was for one man, you wouldn't be out here looking like you for everybody. You know what I'm saying? You want to look, you can, So you want to come out of that now, man, and submit to your true order by submitting to what the men of the Lord are telling you, which will be the men you going to submit to, man. Kevin Samuels was not that man. And we're going to prove it with this instance I'm going to bring out after this. This is verse, part Put 11 at the end, continue, and put burlap to show your grief. Beat your breast in sorrow for your bountiful farms and your fruitful grapevines. For your land will be overgrown with thorns and briars. Your joyful homes and happy towns will be gone. Yeah, a lot of y'all probably got cribs. You probably pay somebody to come clean your car. Be a lot of women on the internet talking about that. Yeah, I pay somebody to come clean my car. I know this guy. You know what I'm saying? You probably screwing this dude. You probably got a yard. You probably pay somebody to come do that. Or the city might come. And then even the stuff that's around your homes, when all hell break loose, ain't nobody coming to make these places look nice anymore. Ain't gonna be no more. You see Issachar out working on the, you know, the damn landscape of the malls and, you know what I'm saying, the certain restaurants. They not gonna be doing that. The parks for your kids to go to. That shit gonna look like a World War III about to happen or done took place, man. It's gonna like zombies out here, man. So how you gonna be walking around still being in that spirit? You know? But anyway, it says your joyful homes and happy towns will be gone. The palace and the city will be deserted and busy towns will be empty. Wild donkeys will frolic and flocks will graze in the empty forts and watchtowers until at last the Spirit is poured out on us from heaven. Then the wilderness will become a fertile field, and the fertile field will yield bountiful crops. Yeah, once Jacob's trouble is complete and the elect is sealed, and it's gonna look like that due to them, starting with the men of the Israelite race, on down to the rest, through them and because of them. And the only ones that's gonna be able to see that is gonna be those that's found amongst them. Those men that's teaching this truth. So the world you used to is about to be wiped away. And the beautiful world that you're trying to act like this one is gonna come. Through those that were saying, and because of those that were saying this one was crap and was staying away from this one. But you marked as Hebrew Israelite, black Hebrew Israelite men. Oh, those niggas in the corner. Oh, my cousin won. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know. I know, you know. You believe in that? That's crazy. Oh, he crazy, girl. Oh, why you yelling at me? Like, you just so stupid. Like, you know, you ain't gonna be stupid in that day. You gonna have all your wits. All right? So let me get this. Isaiah 4:1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. 7 women. Saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. See that? And I'm going to read this in the NLT. In that day, so few men will be left that 7 women will fight for each man. And what man? It wasn't that man, clearly. And it proved it. The Lord killing him proved he wasn't that man. Because it's like, well, what is the Lord looking for? If he killed Kevin Samuels, he was pointing all the stuff out that was wrong with him. What is he looking for? He had a whole role. He didn't have a role, period. He wasn't repentant. He looking for he's not that man. That man that was telling all these women they was wrong, dead now, man. So he couldn't have been that man. And that proved to you, it ain't just any man the Lord looking for. It ain't just any man. It don't even matter if he's an Israelite man. He got to be of the elect. He got to know what's going on. And y'all going to see that, man. You seeing it now. It says, saying, let us all marry you. Marry you. We will provide our own food and clothing. Only let us take your name so we won't be mocked as old maids. See that? In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. Dealing with the men. That men is that branch. The men. Yahweh the vine, man. Okay? And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion, see, and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy, and so I can even everyone that is written among the living in Jerusalem. We lit, we popping, we got the answers. That's how it's gonna be. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion. This talking about the women, because it's daughters. It don't say daughter. It shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. There's going to be spirits in these judgments, man. The spirits of the Lord, you know? And you're going to be wanting to be kept from those spirits by being amongst the Holy Spirit, having the Holy Spirit. And the Lord will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion and upon those that's repentant, right? Starting with the men of the Israelite race. That number, man, the remnant, it says, and upon her assemblies, a cloud and smoke by day, chariots. We're going to be protected, and the shining of a flaming fire by night, for upon all the glory shall be a defense. See that? Beautiful. And that's why you're going to want to take heed. I'll read this and that'll be it. Isaiah 32:1. Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. That's Yahushua and his little brothers, man. The elect men you see on these corners, man. The princes, the men of Israel. See that? Let's prove that real quick. This Micah 3:1. And I said, hear, I pray you, O heads of Jacob, ye princes of the house of Israel. See that? Is it not for you to know judgment? And when you get that word princes, we know that's dealing with men. But just in case you want to get clever, I don't about went for an hour, but it's the spirit. So see, it's less about Kevin Samuels, man. Quataziah. Quatazian, chief ruler, commander in war, ruler, dictator of one in authority. Who has the Lord said that through Paul. He does not, suffer a woman to usurp authority over the man. So the man got authority, man. You see what I'm saying? Period. That's dealing with a man. Okay. Let's do this. Prince. The son, a close male relative, especially a son's son, a male royal ruler of a small state, actually nominally or originally subject to a king or emperor. Exactly. So that's why we princes, because we under Yahushua, but we're going to be joint heirs with Yahushua as well. And it's give you right there, elector. See? So going back, Isaiah, so it's talking about the men. Those the princes. So I'm gonna read this in the NLT after I read 1 and 2 through the KJV. So behold, a king shall reign in righteousness. It's prophesied, and he's king. Everybody gonna be subject to him, gonna submit to him, because he's king. You submit to the king. You submit to the ruler, man. Right? And princes shall rule in judgment. See, a man shall be as in hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So we're going to be we're going to be like Yahushua. We Yahushua to you. We're going to be the closest. We're going to be the closest thing to the Savior to you, man. That's what it's saying in the NLT verse 1. Look, a righteous king is coming. See that? And honest princes will rule under him. Each one will be like a shelter. See, each one. See that? Will be like a shelter from the wind and a refuge from the storm, like streams of water in the desert, in the shadow of a great rock in a parched land. Then everyone who has eyes will be able to see the truth, and everyone who has ears will be able to hear it. See that? Even the hotheads will be full of sense and understanding. Those who stammer will speak out plainly. They're going to know, and they're going to say, what? Let us marry you. Let us go with you. We're going to submit unto you. That's what it's going to say, man. You see? When you go to Micah 3, what's that? Zechariah 8, I want to say in 23. They're gonna take hold of the skirt of him that is of the Jew. Men gonna actually be after men, man. Man, bro, let me just, not like that, but like, niggas be groupies. But we talking about you so-called black women, including you Latino and Native American Indian women, man. You gonna see this, Revelation 21:3, this prophecy, I'm gonna end here. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of God, the Most High, Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai, is with men, and he will dwell with them. And isn't any man, couldn't have been, because look what happened to Kevin Samuels. And they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them. Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai himself shall be with them and be their God, their power. See that? We gonna be living, man. You gonna submit. Y'all gonna see what we's telling y'all, man. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and they shall be no more, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, no crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. Exactly. And that's through the Israelite man, the elect Israelite man. And because of the elect Israelite man, starting with, and then on down to the rest of the elect that's gonna be saved, man. Okay? So yeah, that's basically it. So when you come back here, Kevin Samuels' relationship, okay, a Vice blogger dead follow incident report. When you jump down to this and start talking about the date, we're gonna start here. According to the account, the self-proclaimed guru was subject of an emergency call made to Atlanta first responders during the late night hours on Wednesday, May 4th, right? Or early Thursday, which was May 5th. See that? Morning, where he was found unresponsive and transferred to a local hospital where he was declared deceased. So they say May 4th is when the issue started. And he died officially on May 5th. Now watch this. So when you come to this is a video I did last year, okay? No one watched really, right? But let's get the date, May 4th. See that? May 4th. So this was put out going into what he was doing, you know what I'm saying? And he probably seen it. It was put out May 4th. It was actually done a week before I uploaded it, I think April 28th, and this channel was down because it had a strike. But I re-put the message out, so that was 2 witnesses, and the date was May 4th. And it say let every matter be established by 2 or 3 witnesses. So this came out on the Yahweh shall return, which is even more powerful. So this is room to repent. You see what I'm saying? This was put out May 4th, which is when he would die the next year. His issue would start and he would die the next day, May 5th. So this was made, if you will, May 4th, and he would die the next day, May 5th. Put up last year. You see, so this just proved that the Lord was completely behind. He was behind this. He set all this up. And he's not the man that you women was written, you so-called black women was written, is prophesied to submit to, man. While y'all celebrating his death and all this other stuff, man. You know? So y'all gonna see, man. You know? So yeah, man. So with that, call halam la Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai, Lord willing, this was edifying, man. The elect Israelite man will be the one you women gonna submit to, man. You know, and a lot of y'all, it ain't gonna matter. You still probably gonna die, man. You know? Yeah, big. Shalom.